Hi, I'm Michael Morelli from Powerhouse Investigations, and you're watching Explore Tulsa, and I'm watching you.
Hello and welcome to May as the flowers bloom with more Explore Tulsa, and this week we start the show with the man behind the music.
Then we save big bucks by going geothermal.
Followed by the secret ingredients to a great party.
Plus a little time with the Queen.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's great to have you back with us for another episode of Explore Tulsa. With it being May, did you already start planting your spring flowers?
No, I choose to recognize the Japanese tradition of the Golden Week.
I see. You mean the celebration of several holidays all at once from April 29th to May 5th?
Yes, taking it easy for an entire week, party time.
Someone should write a song just about how easy you like to take it.
I know just the guy too. Not only could he write it, Scott Allan Mathews could produce and sing it too.
My brother, I had a brother that was like 15 years older than me, and he was a musician, and my sister played piano. So drums were always my thing. So when I was in the first grade, I remember playing drums in the school band, and just grew from there to I played trombone in the band and brass instruments and drums, and then to guitar and piano, and that's basically it. The first recording I ever did, my brother had a reel-to-reel recorder, and a man down the street, just lived a couple blocks from us, played country music, and he wanted to hire me to come up and record his songs that he wrote. So I actually had at that time, my reel-to-reel and a microphone probably is all I had, or two, in a house next door to us, and he came up and did that, and it ends up, it's Joe Don Rooney's dad. From Rascal Flatts.
Oh, wow.
So Joe Don grew up in Pitcher, just right down the street. Well, I moved to Tulsa when I was 20, and I actually opened a recording studio at a local music store, Fiery Brothers in Sand Springs. That was in, I think it was in 81 or 2, something like that. And started, every night I just started recording bands and whoever wanted to do albums. And I did somebody hired me to do a jingle for a mayoral candidate. A few weeks later, it was all over the radio, and it's like, well, I kind of like doing that. So I pursued jingles and started doing a lot of them, and then it just grew from, back in the 80s, there weren't home studios everywhere like there are now, and there was only a handful of us that could really make something sound decent. There were always 2 or 3 large studios in town, but most people couldn't afford those, local musicians. So there were 3 or 4 of us guys that you could hire to do albums, and we could make it sound pretty good on our 8-track reel-to-reel. Basically, if I can look at a picture, I can pretty much just hear what it should be and maybe do a couple of different examples of that. And it's just something that I can do, and I don't really know, it's not a lot of work for me. And the thing that I loved about the sports package opens, where they're just so short. I mean, they're like 10, 15 seconds of music. So I always loved that. Just try to do your best work in that short amount of time. I'm very glad I moved to Tulsa. I had many opportunities to move to Nashville. Nashville is kind of a place that we go from here. And to be honest with you, I just always had something going on here, and it wasn't easy for me to move because I was making a good living doing what I love to do right here. I love living here. It's a great place to raise kids, and it's a great size. You know, when we travel to New York City or LA, coming back to Tulsa is like coming back to my hometown of Pitcher that had 1,200 people in it. So I love it here.
What a great story. Who'd have thought that so much talent would have come from a $14 guitar?
Scott's extremely talented, and to learn more about his music, visit scottallanmathews.com. Stevie, what are you doing with that device?
Trish, it takes a lot of energy to run all these lights and the cameras, so I thought that I'd work on a way to save money using geothermal energy.
Oh, I think you're on the right track, but why don't we call the experts at Steady State Geothermal to answer all of our questions?
Oh yeah, if you want to take the easy way out.
Stay close. Craig at Steady State shows us how it all works. Next when Explore Tulsa continues.
Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got 2 great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our 2 locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I got to tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Ever since the first movie theaters opened in the early 1900s, man has been trying everything to bring that same experience home to enjoy with their families. And for more than 30 years, Video Revolution and their home entertainment experts have been making those dreams come true by designing custom home theater solutions for both in and outdoor use. From 1080p LEDs to the brand new Sony 4K flat panel TVs, or come in to see the latest in sound bars and surround sound setups. Always the top name brands are found at Video Revolution. That same electronic expertise we also apply to your business communications network, from boardroom automation to video wall presentations. No matter what technology the future holds, you can count on Video Revolution to be leading the way. Tulsa's headquarters for the best selection and installation of cutting-edge electronics. Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Good, you're still here with us. Thanks for continuing to be a part of Explore Tulsa.
Well, of course they're still going to be here with us, sticking around. Who doesn't want to save money on their energy bill?
Geothermal solutions are making more sense every day, especially if you're building new.
Well, it's all centered around the proper ground looping of the geothermal pipe doohickey.
Instead of listening to Mr. Fix-It here, why don't we let Craig at Steady State show us?
If you look at, like, say, a pie chart of how people use energy in their home, typically 2/3 of that is for heating and cooling. So if you can make just energy efficient heating and cooling design and construction decisions, then you can easily save a lot of money every year. My name's Craig Immel. I work with Steady State Renewable Energy Company. We're also known as Steady State Geothermal. We specialize in ground source heat pump technology or geothermal heat pump technology. Geothermal technology allows property owners to have a new, more environmentally friendly and super energy efficient way of heating and cooling their building. Essentially, it takes advantage of the steady state temperature of the ground outside their building and allows their building to exchange heat with the ground as opposed to trying to heat up really cold air in the winter or try to dissipate hot air from the building into already hot air in the summer. We specialize in doing what are called vertically oriented closed loop systems. So basically we take a drilling machine and we drill holes anywhere from 150 to 300 feet deep. We run one long continuous loop of piping through those holes and through trenches, and we circulate a fluid that's about 95% water and probably 5% of a non-toxic antifreeze solution. And instead of trying to take air from outside that's maybe 10 degrees in the winter and heat it up to 70 degrees or whatever feels comfortable in your home. We take this fluid that's already been preheated because it's been buried underground at about 64 degrees and bring that into the building and put it into a heat pump that absorbs that 64 degrees heat and condenses it and brings it up to a more comfortable temperature. So if you think about the difference between 10 degrees and 70 and 64 and 70, it requires much less energy to create the comfortable temperature you want in your building. And the same process works in reverse in the summer. Energy savings right now are the biggest selling point of all. I mean, a typical geothermal system is going to save anywhere from 50 to 80% off a person's total utility bill. And when you replace a geothermal system, you're really only replacing the heat pump part of it. In 25 years, when the actual heat pump unit itself is due for a replacement, you don't have to go back and do the whole ground loop again. You basically just plug in a new heat pump to the ground heat exchanger that's already there. We are really proud of what we offer and what we're doing with this business. Both of us have been very interested in environmentally friendly building for a really long time. But it's really cool to me because a lot of the innovation and the research that's going into geothermal right now is based here in Oklahoma. So it's one of the only renewable energy technologies around the whole world that's basically ground zero here in Oklahoma over at Oklahoma State University, the International Ground Source Heat Pump Association. I'm really proud that I get to go out and do hands-on work and help people make better buildings and better homes, but also do something that's truly is environmentally friendly. If you could pick only one measure to do in a building to make it more environmentally friendly, it's geothermal, hands down. Geothermal is, I think, here to stay for a really long time. Right now it's only about 1% of the overall HVAC market, but it's the fastest growing segment of the HVAC market. In terms of long-term staying power, I think one thing that's really interesting about geothermal is it's such a simple technology. I mean, it involves drilling holes and putting plastic pipe in the holes, right? And so kind of the same thing that makes it super simple is the same thing that kind of hedges it against, the next big trend. So I think geothermal's really old school type technology, but I think it's something that's going to be here to stay. I mean, people have experimented with a lot of different types of piping and heat pumps and things, but I think the essence of what we do, building the ground loop outside, those things are going to be operational for 50 or 100 years.
I had no idea that you could save so much money by using geothermal energy.
I'm sure most people didn't, but if you'd like to learn more, be sure to visit steadystate.co.
Watching those guys work kind of made me hungry.
Of course it did, but you are in luck as next we stop in to see Randy and Debbie Timmons at Trimmins by Timmons.
Oh, Debbie has the best mashed potatoes and candy bar ever, and it's coming up when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
It's ORU like you've never seen before. ORU's Conference and Event Centers invites you to consider us for your next event. With over a dozen venue options and more than 40 years of putting on big shows, we're confident we have just the right venue solution for you. ORU's Conference and Event Services is a full-service operation catering to the needs of the university and the community of Tulsa. Getting married? Then the Prayer Gardens or Christ Chapel can accommodate any size wedding party. Or if your event is all business, ORU has the finest conference, banquet facilities, and equipment in all of Oklahoma. And we have plenty of fun too, with summer camps covering volleyball, soccer, swimming, baseball, and more. Call and find out how ORU Conference and Event Services can be your all-inclusive event venue. 918-495-6400.
Looking for a new home entertainment experience? Well, hi, and welcome to Video Revolution, Tulsa's best in cutting-edge electronics. Professional, highly trained home entertainment experts. Video Revolution's been serving Tulsans for over 25 years with name brands like Sony, Clips,
Definitive Technology,
Samsung, and so many more. Great selection, price match guarantee, custom installation, expert assistance equals home entertainment success. See for yourself. The Video Revolution showroom features the largest selection of flat panel TVs in all of Oklahoma. Plus the latest in 3D entertainment. Highly trained home entertainment experts on hand. Professional delivery, installation, and service after the sale. And the best selection of name brands. Visit us online at videorevolution.com and find out more about everything we have to offer. Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Welcome back to all you party people in T-Town. You're just in time for more Explore Tulsa.
What was the last big party you went to, Stevie?
Well, my oldest son got married a couple of weeks ago, and I learned a little bit about catering. Did you know that the caterer actually started back in the 4th millennium in China? It was during that time that catering was used to provide food for soldiers on transportation and trade routes.
Then during the Middle Ages, catering in Europe became more widely known for entertainment purposes.
Which brings us to our friends in Bixby, Debbie and Randy Timmons, two people who really know how to make any event festive at Trimmins by Timmons.
Years ago, my daughter was in a wedding when she was a teenager, and her little friend didn't have much money. And so I said, you know what, for a present, Randy and I will do your wedding. And so I started researching and getting everything together, and we did it, and it turned out really good. And people were going, who's the caterer, who's the caterer? And I was like, Randy, we're the caterers. So we were the caterers, but we've been the caterers ever since. And then, of course, our two children got married, and we did their weddings and had a ball doing that, and people were like, don't you want to relax and have someone else do their wedding? And I'm like, no, that's my thing, that's our love, that's what we want to do. I guess as we're our second year here, we decided to do it full-time. We've been doing it part-time, and our job situations changed, and we were both able to do it full-time. And so we came looking for a catering kitchen, and we found this great place. It has a wonderful kitchen. It's 1907. It was one of the first buildings in Bixby. It was the bank, and it just gives me goosebumps to think about this being the bank, and the room is pretty much the same windows, same everything. The building is pretty much the same. First of all, a caterer needs to think about that word, cater. You're catering to the people. You are personalizing it to what they want. We have a menu, but we'll make anything you want. You know, we had one couple, he was from England, married a girl from here, and he had a dish, an English dish that he really wanted to have for his family. And he gave me the recipes, and I messed with it, played with it. We got it pretty good. The people from England came and they said, this is delicious. I'm like, nailed it. That made me feel really good. So, you know, we customize things, we personalize it. We'll do anything you want, you know. We've done a lot of different things. I mean, one time a lady from one of the venues called, and she said, you know, this family was gonna do their own food, and they just got overwhelmed, and they're going crazy, and it was like a week before. She said, could you do something? So she gave me their number. They already bought their food. So I took all of their food and made some stuff with it, and they were really happy. So I try to personalize and do what you need, you know, at the time. We've been married 44 years in October, can you believe that? But we've been married 44 years, and so we get along pretty good. We have our moments, but you just have to kind of settle down and, you know, working with your spouse. But no, we have a lot of fun and we enjoy it. It's like the events, the weddings, especially the weddings, they become our events. You know, it's our party, and we're having a ball, and we want it to be good. So we've done a lot of weddings. I think our biggest recommendation for our weddings is I counted one day, there's 7 families that have used us for multiple weddings. We've done at least 2 of their children's. One of them we did 3, an aunt and 2 children. So that's a recommendation when they call you back for another one of their family weddings.
That Debbie has so much energy and just a blast to be around.
It's easy to see that she loves making everyone's event very special. If you want Debbie at your next event, be sure to visit trimminsbytimmons.com.
How do I look?
The same as usual, just fine. Why?
We're about to meet Tulsa royalty.
Oh, this is true. Yes, we are. Just ahead, we'll meet the newest Miss Senior Oklahoma.
Gwynn's an absolute sweetheart. You won't want to miss, so stick around. She's next with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Hello, friends. I want to invite everyone to find new roads to Danny Beck Chevrolet because we're having a huge pre-construction sale. We're getting ready to renovate our facility, and I need to get rid of 150 units as soon as we can to make room for the crews and their trucks and so forth. We've got huge rebates, 0% interest on some model, and huge discounts. We're going to save you some money. And remember, friends, go Beck for more.
Persimmon Hollow Village and Flea Market. Shop 15 buildings on 3 acres. Free admission and parking's free too. Open every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Find us 1 block east of 71st and Garnett, behind the Salvation Army store. Y'all come out and see us now.
If you're a believer and it's never too late, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
That's right, Stevie. Gwynn Bishline as Miss Senior Oklahoma is definitely proof of that.
Gwynn is the latest winner of Grace Hospice's annual fundraising event, an event that raises money to help families in the worst of times deal with an otherwise very difficult situation.
We'll let Gwynn and Amy tell you all about it.
The foundation's been around since 2006. One of the fundraisers that we have is Miss Senior Oklahoma. It is an event, it's a community outreach event that highlights the senior women within our community. Speaking with Gwynn, you can kind of get a sense of some of the ladies that were represented at the pageant, and so many different stratas of economic and diversity within our culture was represented at the pageant too.
About 60 years ago, I was in a pageant, Mrs. Tulsa. In that pageant, they were more interested in our home skills. I had to make a garment and bring, and then all of us had to bake a cake. And in that pageant, I came in second. So I said in this one, I was hoping to do a little better.
Like I said in my introduction, asking me who the most influential person is like asking me which is my favorite child.
My husband's health is declining. I am his caregiver. And his care was becoming more than I could handle in our home. So we both moved to Cedar Ridge Assisted Living Retirement Center. The activity director at Cedar Ridge asked if I would represent our building, our place, and I said, well, sure. And so she just said, show up at a certain time, and I thought I could talk about something that just happened fairly recently. When on my 82nd birthday, I suddenly realized that I was old. I didn't know it until then. So I started thinking about what that meant. And I thought about my children, how they have grown and become terrific people. About friends that I had through the years, plus new friends. And I said I've made new friends, and that's very important.
Thank you, God, for the blessings of a life well lived. Amen.
What was so great about the pageant was that the ladies were judged by their answer, just as Miss Gwynn was talking about how she was questioned of what was an influential moment in her life. There was also their outfit was also judged as well. We had several ladies that wore, one in particular wore her granddaughter's prom dress. We had ladies that came in beautiful pantsuits and beautiful going to church dresses.
Miss Senior Oklahoma Assisted Living for 2014 is Gwynn Bishline.
I can hear my kids out in the audience, yelling. This is great for them and for me. I'm enjoying it.
I really like Gwynn, but I think it's also time that there's a Mr. Senior Oklahoma.
Good idea, Stevie. And just in time for you to get your AARP card, too.
Oh yeah, you laugh, but that card gets me some great deals on breakfasts everywhere.
If you'd like to know more or learn how to help, visit gracehospice.com.
And stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa coming up.
At Video Revolution,
we've got
today's 3D technology.
Smart TVs.
And I can help you pick the one that's a larger size TV.
We handle it all here at Video Revolution.
Now people can get
a 90-inch TV.
Locally owned and operated.
Now coming up on a 30-year anniversary.
Customer service is our priority.
We have our own service center.
It just brings back enjoyment to watching TV.
And now it's affordable for everybody.
And we sell fun stuff. It's like toys for big kids.
Customers that come into Video Revolution are blown away.
Be sure and join us next week when we meet the man behind the Narrative Television Network, Jim Stovall.
We want to thank Scott Allan Mathews for sharing his story and music with us.
And thanks to Craig of Steady State Geothermal for introducing us to the newest way to save money. And to Debbie and Randy at Trimmins by Timmons for all the good food and party ideas.
Plus thanks to Gwynn and Amy for introducing us to Miss Senior Oklahoma contest and all the great work Grace Hospice is doing.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at ExploreTulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the 2-pair for a $129 deal with 2 locations. 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.